Hey everybody, it's Bobby with Reaper Metal Works here, and welcome to my shop. Today I'm going to be working on a couple of brackets that were given to me by a horse trainer friend of ours. Now these brackets go inside of her horse trailer and get bolted to the side, and they're saddle holders. And what she's wanting to do with them is use them on the inside of her barn to hook on the side of a horse pen that she can hang blankets on. Now I don't have the ability to weld aluminum right now, so what I'm going to do is take a couple pieces of scrap steel and just make a bracket that bolts to it. That way she can have it to where it bolts to the pen and she can take it off and use it inside of her horse trailer whenever she needs to. So here's how I went ahead and did that. Alright, so what I'm doing here is just lining the bracket up on a piece of plate steel, doing a rough outline with a Sharpie. It's nothing that has to be super precise, so I wasn't extremely worried about how the outline was going to come out. Alright, so this video sped up a little bit. I used another piece of scrap steel to use as a guide for my plasma cutter. And you'll see that the plasma cutter is not 100% dialed in. So I had to do a couple passes on the steel just to get it to cut. And here I'm repositioning the plate steel so I can get the other pieces of the bracket cut off of here. And what I was doing right here was realigning my guide and doing a practice pass to make sure I was still in line. If you've never used a plasma cutter before, steel gets really hot even through a glove, as seen right there. And you'll see, even after a second pass, I had to use my plasma cutter to give that piece of steel a few little love taps to get it separated. And I'm just repositioning this plate steel again so I can get another piece of the bracket cut out of there. Now right about here, the steel and the guide were both really hot, so I ended up taking my hand off the guide and freehanding it the rest of the way. The good thing is that this one cut in one pass. And what I'm doing right here is taking my grinder with a flap disc on it and taking all the dross off of those two pieces of the bracket. I had decided to put those two pieces in the vise and get the sides cleaned up really well too. Here I'm lining the brackets up on top of the cutout pieces of plate steel and marking the holes to drill out. Here I have that piece of steel set up in my drill press and vise, throw a little bit of oil on it and start drilling. You'll see that it's probably about time that I sharpen the drill bits as well. After I drilled the holes out, I used my step bit to open the holes up a little bit more and then put a chamfer on both sides of the plate. And here I'm just taking those pieces of plate and marking the width on a piece of angle iron that I had laying around. Now this video is also sped up because who wants to watch 10 minutes of a tired chop saw cutting thick angle iron? This video is also sped up. I'm just taking my angle grinder with a flat disc and cleaning up the rough cuts from the chop saw on the angle iron. And now I'm just taking the plate steel and putting a couple tacks on those on the angle iron to hold them in place. And now you get to watch me run a couple crappy weld beads on these brackets. And here's a more sped up video of me just dressing up the welds on those brackets. And here's what they look like after dressing them up a little bit. Not the best, but they will do the job. And we just do a test fit on the bracket to make sure everything works out, and then get it ready for paint. And nothing fancy on the paint. This is just gray spray paint from Rust-Oleum. This is their hammered metal finish. All right, here's the finished product. As you can see, it's just a little bracket made out of scrap steel that I had laying around. So the trainer will be able to hang this on the horse stall and throw blankets over it, and then they'll be able to take this off and put it back in their trailer and use it without issue. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you did find value in this, please like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Have a good day, everybody.